Are you among those who consider themselves happy? Or, on the contrary, are you among those who have always chased happiness without being able to reach it? Or again, are you among those who don't believe in happiness and think that this is just an illusion? In this video, we will discover what the 5 secrets are to being happy in life, and to do so, we will use a Zen story that will help you in your personal and spiritual growth. But first, let's clarify one thing. Happiness is very subjective and varies from person to person, so there is no recipe that works for everyone. However, there are secrets, if we want to call them that can lead us all to take the path that leads to that personal well-being and emotional balance that can give us happiness. So stay until the end so you don't miss a second of this precious Buddhist story. But before continuing, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share the video. In this way, you will help us produce new valuable content every day. Once upon a time, there was a rich and successful man named Kaido. He was known throughout the country for his extraordinary career in the financial sector, the luxurious homes, and the vast assets he owned. However, despite his incredible wealth and the success he had accumulated over the years, Kaido constantly felt stressed and unhappy. He couldn't find the inner peace he so desperately wanted. One day, while traveling on business, Kaido came across a monastery hidden in the mountains, so he decided to stop and look for answers to his growing dissatisfaction. He approached an elderly monk with a long beard and a serene face named Takashi, a monk he had long heard spoken of for his extreme wisdom. "Monk Takashi, I have realized how my wealth and success have not brought happiness into my life. What should I do to find peace and joy?" Monk Takashi smiled kindly and said, "Kaido, I have 5 secrets to share with you, which can help you find happiness in life." Kaido and Takashi sat down in the shade of an ancient cherry tree in bloom. The monk explained that happiness could not be achieved only through the possession of material goods. "The first secret I want to tell you about," said the monk, "is linked to gratitude. Be grateful for the things you have in your life. Reflect on what you have and give thanks for it." Kaido nodded. "I understand. Gratitude is a good starting point. We often take for granted the things we have, both material and emotional." So, from that moment on, he decided to keep a diary in which he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for every day. Every night before going to bed, he would take time to do this practice, reflecting on how lucky he was for everything he had. As a second secret to happiness, Takashi suggested that Kaido share his wealth with those in need. "It's not just about money," the monk said, "but also about your time, your attention, and your affection. Sharing will bring a sense of purpose and satisfaction to your life." Kaido was moved and said, "I will do my best to help others. Until today, I have always made large donations, but I have never considered the idea of taking to the field directly." So he promised himself to start personally visiting the retirement homes, orphanages, and hospitals to which, until then, he had given large donations. "I will meet people who are sick, who feel alone, and who need affection," he said with conviction. The monk, satisfied with how Kaido was reacting, moved forward with the 3rd secret, finding meaning in simplicity. "Simplicity," he said, "is one of the keys to happiness. Embrace the beauty of the little things in life, like a sunset, bird song, or a cup of hot tea. Beauty is often hidden in simplicity," Takashi said. Kaido reflected on the many little things he had overlooked in the past. So from that moment on, he decided that every morning he would wake up before dawn to admire the sky and the awakening of nature. At that point, Kaido asked Takashi how he could calm his mind and find inner peace in times when he felt overwhelmed by stress and responsibilities. The elderly monk replied, "Practice meditation. Through it, you will free your mind from the stress and tension that afflicts you." Takashi taught Kaido the basics of meditation and guided him in practice. And Kaido found that even just a few minutes of meditation a day had a calming effect on his mind. Every morning from that moment on, he would sit in silence in the garden of his house and meditate, letting his thoughts dissolve like clouds in the wind. Finally, as the fifth secret, Takashi explained that happiness could be found in cultivating compassion towards others. Kindness and love towards human beings will bring joy to your heart, the monk said. Kaido, thanks to the monk's wisdom, realized that he had spent too much time focused on himself, on his wealth, and on the problems that presented themselves daily before him. That day, Kaido understood that true wealth was not measured in money, but in love, inner peace, and happiness. Thus, he followed Takashi's advice with extreme dedication. He began to practice gratitude, shared his wealth with those less fortunate, embraced simplicity, meditated regularly, and cultivated compassion. He began volunteering in orphanages and retirement homes, and every time he did so, he felt that his life had a real purpose. He spent his free time talking to the elders, listening to their stories and giving them his love. Compassion became an essential part of his life. Little by little, he discovered that true happiness came from cultivating meaningful relationships, finding one's emotional balance, and contributing to the well-being of others. Kaido became a truly happy man, and his heart filled with joy every day. Years passed, and Kaido continued to frequent the monastery consistently. The successful entrepreneur and the elderly monk developed a deep bond of friendship and mutual respect. One day, Takashi fell seriously ill, and Kaido remained by his side until his last breath. The monk, just before leaving forever, told him, "Kaido, you have learned the secrets of happiness. Now you must continue to spread them in the world. Your wealth and success can be a blessing to others if used them wisely." Takashi passed away with a serene smile, knowing that his friend would become a beacon of hope for many. Kaido honored the monk's memory by continuing to follow the principles he had learned. And he spent the rest of his life dedicating himself to charitable works, building schools, hospitals, and homes for those in need. His wealth became a means to improve the lives of others and bring joy into their lives. In conclusion, what does this story teach us? That true happiness, in addition to being subjective, is linked to inner richness, emotional well-being, and the good we manage to do for ourselves and others. And what do you think? Write it in the comments and let's talk about it together.